You feel like you're wearing all the hats. And as a small business owner, you're probably feeling like you're a bit of a hamster on a running wheel, right? You're running, and you're just like, "Ugh, am I ever going to get anywhere? Is that you? Let me know in the chat below. I know as a small business owner, as a coach, entrepreneur, influencer, whatever it is that you call yourself, it can be super hard to do all of the things. And so many opportunities are probably falling through the cracks, right? Now, come on, let's be totally honest. Who knows that they could be doing better and that they're probably leaving leads and money on the table? Yeah? Come on, be honest. So what we're going to do is tell you, first off, we're going to share with you the customer life cycle so that you can understand the journey that most people take and where things, you've got a lot of cracks, right? Where you're losing leads. And also, you may find you're hitting the ceiling, right? You need more leads, more clients, and you know you're not doing everything you should be doing with all the touch points that a customer actually goes through. But at the end of the day, we need to make more money, right? So we can help more people. I know when we may increase our prices, it's not so Sally can pay herself more. It's so I can deliver a better service, more staff with expertise within the community that we do not have. So when you have automation set in your business, it will help you to, 1, increase your sales, 2, provide a better customer experience for your people. And also the best one, number 3, it's going to free up time. Wow, right? Because we can always make more money, but it's really hard to make more time. And that's what automation will give you. It will give you more time. Now, as we talk about the steps we're going to go through today, I want you to remember that I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, so I don't expect you to build everything overnight. Why don't you set yourself a goal to build something every month, right? 1 new automation every month. That way, in 12 months' time, you're starting to fill those gaps and block those holes. So I've started drawing a little picture over here for you on my whiteboard. And this is what the customer life cycle looks like. All right. So we begin with a traffic source. So you've got traffic. Okay. So a traffic source could be all different places in which you find people. So think about, and let me know in the chat if you're here with me live, what's some of the traffic sources that you use? So, for example, some of them might be, all of the socials, all the things, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, but also networking events, okay? If you're going to conferences, traffic sources could be people coming in through paid marketing and advertising as well, right? So you've got these traffic sources, and then what they become is a visitor. Let me see if I can spell this right. Visitor to your landing page, to your website, to your opt-in. Okay, so they stick their little eyeballs onto your stuff, right? They see it. And then once they see it, they then become a lead if they give you their email address. Right? And then the next step from there is they become a customer when they pay you some money. All right? And then the final step is for them to become a fan. All right, so this is where they love, or I like to say they rave, renew, and recruit, right? So they start to tell people about you. They leave you testimonials. They come back and buy from you again and again and again because they love you. So let's talk about the holes that's probably in a lot of funnels. So let's say somebody comes in here and they view your landing page. Okay. Now, maybe they go to your website or your landing page, but if you don't have a way to collect their information on a blog post or any of those digital assets out there, then you're potentially losing a lead. Okay? So you're always needing to have some kind of call to action. Then, once they become a lead, what a lot of people are doing is they're forgetting to actually continue to nurture, to follow up, right? They get their email address, maybe they make them one offer, and then the email just sits there on the list. Who is guilty of that? They are growing their email list, but they're not actually nurturing and following up with people. Now, come on. Tell you, if I'm being completely honest right now, right? Tell yourself, if I'm being completely honest right now, am I actually nurturing well and following up? And if not, then you're losing potential customers. Right now, the next step is people become a customer, but what a lot of people do then is they go, oh, I'll just go back and start trying to attract more traffic in. Right? And what that happens is they lose their leads, their customers, and they're not spending time to onboard them well, to really make them have a wow experience when they join. So as you can see here, all of these steps are potential places in which you could be losing leads. So who thinks, yep, that's probably me, right? All right, so I can see a few of you in here are raising your hands. So what are we going to do about it? So if we have a look now at the actual lifecycle automation component, we have some major steps within the customer's lifecycle that we can add automation in. And the first stage, of course, is to be able to collect leads. Okay, so collect leads is the first part of the automation. Now, when we say collect leads, what you want to do is build a campaign, okay? An automation campaign for collecting your leads so that you build a bridge from the views to getting those email addresses. So it depends on your business model, but the best way is some kind of lead magnet, right? So it could be an ebook, a PDF download. We love to use live training, whether it's a challenge, a boot camp, a masterclass, but teach people live, right? In order to get that email. So a lead magnet is a campaign that you can build in the collect a leads phase. Mark, can you just see if you can pull out the ding-dongs? And Christy, can you turn off the ding-dongs for me? Thank you for the podcast replay. Thank you. And if the ding-dongs are still in and Ma forgot to edit this bit out, then that's what the ding-dongs are. There are people coming into the VIP room right now. So when you collect the leads, what I want you to start to think about through the lead collection phase is who are you targeting, okay? So under the lead collection, so we'll write this down here, lead collection. Things you want to consider is who is your target audience, okay? How are you going to attract them? And then how are you going to capture the email address? Okay, under the collect leads part of the automation. So when you're targeting, what you're doing is identifying the type of person that you want to work with, right? Pretty simple, right? Their demographics, their psychographics, the dream client. That's what I like to call them. They're not just the ideal client, it's the dreamiest client that you want to work with. And then how are you going to attract them? So we love using live video, right? But it could be ebooks, infographics, research projects. It could be webinars. It could be anything on social media, your blog posts. And then how are you going to capture them? Well, that would be through a web form. Okay, so you create a form for them to fill in their information, give you permission to communicate with them, and in exchange, you're giving them some free content. All right, so that's under lead collection. You're going to build a campaign to collect leads. So the next stage in customer lifecycle automation is our convert to customers, okay, or clients. So when we're converting to clients, and this is where so many people are letting leads fall through the crack. Those people guilty of growing their email list, but really only emailing them when they want to sell something, or leaving it months and months in between emails. Okay, so now we have a lead. How do we convert them to a customer? Well, the biggest campaign that you should be building is a follow-up campaign. Okay, now, as I said, there's so many different campaigns. I'm just giving you one or two examples, but follow-up campaigns or long-term nurture campaigns, okay, to get them to continue to know, like, and trust you in order for them to make an informed decision if they want to buy from you. So the main stages inside of the convert, where did my pen go? Inside of the convert to client section is that you need to engage with those beautiful people, right? Consistency is the key when you're building out campaigns. And this is why automation is so powerful, because you can automate your follow-up messages, okay? And also don't forget to get your ask into gear and also present them with an offer. So the best way to craft an offer is to observe what the client has done in the past. What actions have they taken? What things have they watched and downloaded, right? Then you can provide an irresistible offer to really serve and help those beautiful humans. You see, here's the thing. I'm coming back to you right now because I want you to listen up. Did you know that it takes 7 to 12 touch points for somebody to make a decision whether or not you're a good fit for them? But on average, most people only follow up 1 to 2 times, right? 3 if you're lucky. So let's get totally honest. Let me know in the chat, how many times are you actually following up with your leads? Come on, don't be shy. Let's be honest. How many times are you actually following up with your leads? 7 to 12 times? We actually do have a 12 touch point campaign, right? 9 of those steps are automated. 3 of them are automated to tell us to do a manual task. So only 3 of them are actually a human has to do, but a human had to set up the automation to start with, right? So making sure that you are following up at least 7 to 12 times, okay? And then finally, we need to, third part of the convert section is to close, okay? So again, the more sales, right, the more transactions that you have, the more people you can help. Okay, we make money so we can serve better, so we can help more. So you want to close and then make it a really smooth transition for them to move them from turning into a customer into the third stage of the lifecycle automation, which is to create fans. Okay, so we want to create fans. So here we want to do things, we want to onboard, and we also want to wow the pants off them, right? Because when we wow, oops, we've got to come back to the whiteboard. When we onboard them, we don't want to just go back and start trying to create more leads, right? We want to really serve these people well. In the create fans section, there are 3 major things as well. So 1, delivery. How are you going to fulfill your commitments to those beautiful humans who have said, yes, I really, really want your help, right? And then don't forget that you need to wow them. Impress them, provide them with so much value that they're like, whoa, I didn't realize I was going to get so much value when I joined your program. So develop some strategies, some tactics, extra services. Like I have hired amazing experts to serve my beautiful humans that come into the Sparkle world. And by creating fans, then they're going to renew or rave, okay? So, and also rave, renew, and they'll also recruit. So they'll leave testimonials, they'll tell their friends, and they will buy again when you create those amazing fans. Now, here's the thing. As people are building out this lifecycle automation, this is where what I see a lot of people doing. Free up at least 500 meg. Okay, well, we'll get back to that iPad. Let's get through this training first. So what I see a lot of people do as they are, let's use some pretty round numbers here, okay? Let's say, for example, you get 1,000 visitors to your landing page, your opt-in website, blog post, whatever it is. Okay, then from that 1,000, you get 100 leads. Now, I'm just using really round numbers. And then from those 100 people, you get, say, 10 sales. Now, what a lot of people think that they can do is, well, I'll just go and spend more money over here to get more people to view this so that I can get more leads and more sales. But this is where automation comes in. So you're not losing leads and you can 2x, easily 3x or more when you build in these automations so that you can increase the amount of conversions on the back end just by nurturing, just by putting all of these automations in place so that you allow them to spend some time with you. You are consistently showing up. You are always there, right? So you stay front of mind and tip of tongue whenever they need you. So as people are thinking about buying from you, they don't all come in eager and ready to buy. 2% of your audience at any given time are ready right now. But the rest of them are still thinking, learning. Maybe the pain isn't hard enough. So the beginning stage of what they're doing is they're just sort of thinking about it, right? They're like, oh, I've kind of sort of got this problem, but I'm not quite sure yet if I actually need help. I wasn't going to do this, but let's talk about it anyway. Shall we keep going? Give me a yes if you want to learn a little bit more about the customer's journey. Yes? All right, cool. All right, let's do it then. Okay, so a little bit more about the customer's journey. And the reason why we build this in is because as a customer comes to you, you see, first they know they have a problem. Okay, they have a problem. It's kind of mushing around in their brain. They're all a bit like, I know I need help, but I'm just not sure yet, right? Then the second stage is that now they are aware that they have a problem, they have awareness. Okay? So there's a problem, now they're like, oh, I have this problem. Then once they are aware that they have the problem, then they start to go into consideration stage. In consideration stage, what they're doing is they're thinking, well, is there a way out there for me to be able to find help? Is there a shorter path? Is there a quicker way? Right? Are they going to do it themselves and Google the hell out of it? Or are they going to go and search for help? Right? This is the consideration phase. Now what they're moving into is the decision phase. So through the decision phase, now they're weighing up their options. They are ready to be able to buy. They're like, I'm sick of Googling. I'm sick of watching all the YouTube videos. Now I just want the fastest path to the results. I'm going to cut a check for speed. I want to get there faster. So once they say yes and they buy from you, then you need to look at retention, right? Not churn. I hate it. People talk about churn. I worked with a coach who was constantly talking about churn. But to me, I'm focused on retention. How can I make these beautiful people want more? How can I give better service? And that way, step number 6 is loyalty. Okay, so once they've got loyalty, they're going to return to you or they're going to bring more people to you. So this is the customer's journey. And this is why having the lifecycle automation process in place is so important, so that you are showing up through all of these stages, because we all go through ups and downs. Sometimes life's amazing, business is amazing, right? We're so excited about everything and we do not need help. But inevitably something's going to go wrong and we're going to start feeling frustrated. We're going to doubt ourselves. And this is where people are going to start to look for help, especially if they get stuck there for a really long time, right? The bigger the pain, the more willing they are to cut that check for speed because they've been stuck for so long. I know a lot of clients that I work with have been trying for years to be able to explain their offer in a really succinct, easy way that's clear, that have people having an easy yes to their program. They know they provide amazing value, amazing resources, but for some reason, they struggle to be able to communicate exactly what it is that they do. So I need to keep showing up until one day they're like, I'm sick of trying to figure this out for myself. I know I can help people, but I haven't worked out how to explain it in a way that's super, super clear, that has my people raising their hands, running towards me going, yes, I understand. Give me that help. So what is your zone of genius? That thing that you're really good at. And as you're working your business, and I don't expect you to build all your automation like right now, I want you to start to think of how can you continuously be showing up for your people? How can you show up in a way that keeps you front of mind and tip of tongue? And use automation, baby. That stuff is going to give you back so much more time, right? Automation is the bomb. I call it my stuff in a box because when done well, it doesn't feel like automation, right? So when you have automation set up, you'll increase sales, you improve your customer experience, and the best part is you free up time. So let's quickly recap what we've covered today. The first thing we covered was the actual customer life cycle. So the stages at which people come through and, their life cycle, the actual person itself. And then, so they go from visitor to a lead, to a customer, then to a raving fan. And then we spoke about the lifecycle automation. How do we build in automation to stop all of these lost leads, lost sales, lost testimonials, referrals, and renewals? Okay, and then we touched a little bit on the full customer journey, and we'll go more into that in a future lesson I've got planned for you. All right, I'll see you on the next live, guys. We will catch you next week. Thanks, guys.